Hey guys, welcome back to the trio of Craze.
It's cornflower. Today I will show you the basics of crocheting, but first I have some sad news to tell. Due to the current circumstances with COVID-19, Marigold, Bluebell, and I are not able to get together, so we will try making our videos separate. During this time we will not have an upload schedule, but once we are allowed to get together again, we will continue having our video per month schedule. So what I plan to show you today is how to find the size of your crochet hook, how to find the size of crochet hook you will need for your yarn, and 4 basic stitches. How to tell the size of a crochet hook. So on a metal one, there's going to be 2 flat sides. This is where you're going to hold it, but on one side there's going to be the size. This one's an 8mm, and then on the other side it's usually going to be the brand. But if you are going to crochet a lot or do crochet a lot, you're more likely to have one of these. So on this one there's 2 places it tells you the size. Right down here it's graven on it so it doesn't rub off, and then there's printed. But over time and as you use them, the ink comes off. For example, this is my 5mm crochet hook. As you can tell, it is barely on there with the print, so that's why they have 2 different sizes. So here's my skein of yarn. It's right here. And it's pretty easy to find most of the time. Sometimes they're a little difficult, but so mine's right there, and it tells you 5mm. And then it also tells you there H8, which is just another format of telling crochet hooks. But in general, when you go to the store and buy one, they're millimeter. It's easier if you just go by the millimeter system. So you're going to take your yarn, make a slip knot, and then you want to make it nice and big and have a long-ish tail. And then once your slip knot is made, have that loop, you're going to pull it onto your crochet hook. You want to make sure it's tight, but you also want to make sure it's a little loose. So to do the chain, you put your yarn over, and then you're just going to pull down and loop through. So yarn over, you're going to turn your hook, pull down, up. So on the front it's going to look like that, but then on your back it's going to look like that. And then another important thing is to make sure your stitches are loose, because if it's tight, or like this one, and you need to go back in and say just do a stitch, it's going to be really hard to do it when it's tight, and so then that can just throw off your whole project. Your chain here, you want it to be a few stitches long. So what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook into this loop, and then once your hook is in the loop, you're going to put your yarn over, pull through the loop, and then you're going to have 2 loops on your hook. And then what you're going to do now is put the yarn over again and pull through both of the loops. And so you're going to do that in all of the stitches. So you're going to go into the loop, over, pull through, have 2 loops, over, pull through. So that's how you do a single crochet. So it's gonna look like this, but another thing is towards the end I didn't have my yarn as tight on my hook, so the stitches are a little looser than here at the beginning. And in general, when you're working on a project, you want them a little more tighter. So now what I'm gonna do is show you how to turn. So for a turn, you're just gonna chain one, and that's it. So now what I will show you is how to do a double crochet. So this is really similar to the single crochet, but it's also a little different. So you're gonna put your yarn over and see how now you have those nice distinct stitches. You're gonna go through this one, first one, and then you're gonna go over, pull through, and then instead of having 2 stitches, you're gonna have 3. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna pull through 2 stitches, and then you're gonna still have 2 stitches, and you're gonna loop over again, pull through those 2. So loop over, put in, you're going to see that sometimes stitches are a little difficult to go through, but you just got to push in there, force the hook through. So that is now, so you have a single crochet and then a double crochet. And you'll see, you can tell that just the double crochet has a very distinct, different look about it. So for this, I will chain 1, and you're gonna loop over, and then you're gonna put it in the first stitch, have your yarn loop over your hook, pull through, and then you're gonna have the 3 stitches again, but instead of pulling through 2, you're gonna pull through all 3. And if you could tell there, I did something a little different. So I'll show you again. It might be a little easier is if with the 3 stitches, you might go through them more individually than all 3 at once. And it does the same thing, it just takes a little longer. But for getting used to the new stitch, it might be a little better. And so now you have, so this is the half double crochet. So it looks very similar to the single crochet, but it's a little different because instead of just kind of being flat, before the little braid looking part on the top, there's a loop. And so you have the stitch, double crochet, half double crochet. So now for the last stitch. This stitch will be really important when you start finishing off your work. So again, I'm gonna have my little rectangle here. I am gonna chain one, and then we are gonna turn my work. So this is called a slip stitch. So what you're gonna go is through, pull over, go under, and then you're gonna have the two loops, but instead of looping over, which you're not gonna do, you're gonna take the second stitch and pull it through the last stitch. So in general, these stitches are gonna tend to be a little more tighter, but you're gonna go under, pull, put over, pull under, pull through. So there, since that's my last stitch, I'm gonna make a big loop. I'm gonna get my scissors. So I have my loop. I'm gonna take my crochet hook out, and then I have my scissors, and then I'm gonna cut a decently sized tail. Then you're gonna pull the yarn out of the loop, and that is how you do 4 basic stitches of crocheting.
Like and subscribe, comment to give us more video ideas.